Hey you guys, welcome back to video 2 in the creative junk journaling series that I'm putting together for basically, if you missed the first video, I was to do a workshop at PlannerCon, and unfortunately I wasn't able to make the workshop, and so I wanted to create a video on the ways that I like to create for junk journaling. Basically, it's an introduction of what I do, and then I wanted to kind of I had a few projects that I was working on, and I thought what I would do is create videos for those projects, and that way you can kind of get an idea of the way that I like to journal. Just keep in mind too that to me there is no right or wrong way to junk journal. It's basically your taste, what you like to do, what makes you feel good, what makes you happy, what brings calmness and excitement and fun. It's everything that you basically, my suggestion would be just to play and work in your journal and kind of create a style that is yours. There's tons of ideas out there, but really and truly when it comes down to it, it's what you like to do. So with that being said, I wanted to do a video on layers, and so this is one of my favorite techniques when I'm journaling. And actually what my idea was to kind of basically do videos of how, basically kind of short, sweet videos, that way you have time. I'm going to move that over there, time to create as well. But with this one, it may be a little more than what I had planned on it, because I'm going to actually show you two things. One, this is basically my journal that I'm in the process of using now. In the first video, I explained that I use a traveler's notebook. This is a Kahir size. I use one per month. So this is this week, of course. Today is March 23rd, and so I'm going to decorate this side up in layers, and I'll show you the process of that. And then the other thing I want to show you is I'm in the midst of creating a junk journal planner for a kind of an idea that I have, a project that I have going on. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's something that I have in the works. And so I want to create a planner so that I can put all my ideas in there. And so I want to cover these little dividers for my planner. Now, and basically this is kind of an inspiration planner, but I'm not going to do all 5 of these on camera. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do one. So, and then I will work on the rest of them, and if you stick with me through this series, you'll see at the end basically these being done. Because I kind of wanted to do with this series, like I mentioned a little while ago, is that basically I wanted to create on projects that I'm already working on, but just kind of do a video series of those projects. So anyway, that just kind of gives you an idea. But what I'm planning on doing right now is I'm going to work on my little layering. So basically, this is my you can see I'm still kind of getting caught up a little bit here. This is basically the journal that I'm using right now, and it is every week I do a weekly spread, and then I have like a couple of pages, like I haven't filled this out yet, a couple of pages that I will come in here and either decorate or journal or add photos, but it's kind of my documentation. So I'm still getting caught up on last week, but here we are this week, and so I wanted to kind of create a page here, since we are all stuck at home. I wanted to kind of do a little layered layout of my stay at home, where I'm documenting everything that's kind of going on here. I did want to show you, this is what I kind of did today. Isn't that beautiful? This is the sparkly pens that I have in this month's kit. I put one in here, but you can find these. They're actually called INC. This is I think this brand I got at like Dollar Tree or Dollar, oh, there's another green one. Well, I can't, I got these at Dollar Tree, or Walmart was carrying them, but they're actually called INC brand, and you can get them on Amazon for like $11. And so I love these. They're beautiful. They're sparkly. They work great. And so I had this stamp that I purchased from Hobby Lobby a while back, and I put, he's got the whole world in his hands. I heard a song on YouTube where everybody was singing this, and it was just amazing, and it touched me, and I was like, you know, I started kind of like, I wanted to put it in my journal, and I remembered that I had the stamp, and so I worked on that this morning. And that is something that I do periodically throughout the day and in the evening if I have a chance. You know, sometimes it's just writing a little insert or stamping or anything like that. So it's always something that I have at my fingertips, because it does bring me such, you know, joy, and I just love journaling. So okay, so this morning I also put I was inspired to add paint. I've been wanting to play with my paint, and so these are a couple little die cuts that I had just lingering around, and I just took out some paint and just kind of did a little just like this, you know, some little just painting, nothing fancy, nothing too complicated. And then of course I added some sparkle, which I have still these little sticklers. I used to get these all the time. I mean, this has lasted me for, it's a really good, it's a good, I was just looking at the date on the bottom. I've had these for a really long time, you guys. I mean, I might even say like 5 years, and I've used them so much. The only thing when you're using this kind of stuff, I also buy this. This is a folk art glitter-tastic or something like that. But they have silver and gold, and I bet they have other colors too. But the only thing is, when you use this kind of stuff, you have to let it sit and dry, which that's no big deal. A lot of times I'll add my glitter at the end on the evenings, and then I just lay my journal out and let it dry overnight. So, but this morning I played with some of this, and I wanted to kind of do the house, but then I remembered that I had my own kit from, I guess it was not this last January before, the Let's Stay Home, and I was like, oh, how perfect. I had somebody post it on Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to use my girl today too. So I have the die cuts, I have the stickers, just a little out there. They are in my shop. So, but I think I might, let's go ahead and open the die cuts up and see, because I was kind of worried about the size of this girl. I have some smaller ones, but I think I either used them up or I don't have them handy in my little binder that I keep. So I may just use this little die cut girl here as part of the layout. So basically I have these layers. I'm just going to kind of play around with them here and see what I want to do with them. Basically just kind of playing around here, or I may just keep doing, oh, I already have one house. So yeah, so I love to layer, because you can basically use a lot of your ephemera. I might not even need the girl. She may stay over here or something. And what I do with these, with my weekly layout, is I have, I use a space here to basically kind of do a bullet journaling, and then on my other pages is when the other pages is when I really write out different things that are going on. So I think that's probably what I'm going to kind of do here. I had some material that I wanted to add, and I had these flowers. I saw this carrot sitting on my desk. I might put that somewhere else, but just, so let's go ahead and get some background going here. So I think what I'm going to do is just add, one of my favorite things to do is to add some tissue paper. And so I just bought some new ones that is Easter themed, and that's just the kind of, you can even paint over here, but I think I'm going to add a little bit of tissue paper. I'm going to be using this on my little dividers as well too. I love polka dots, and so I'm just going to kind of go on it. This is my favorite glue. I use it all the time. I've used it for years. It's a decoupage, but it's not a sticky, it won't leave your pages like sticky. So I use it on everything. I use it on canvases. I use it in my journals. I use it all the time. Hobby Lobby used to carry it, but now my paintbrush is peeling. But now they, oops. Okay, let's get a different one. That one's gonna, these ones that are wooden, they always seem to peel. I'm not the best person for taking care of my paintbrushes, y'all, but I use them for just lots of mixed media, so it's just fun to just, you know, I don't get really expensive ones, let's just put it that way. I'm going to add some of these just to kind of add a different layers into the background. And the thing with tissue paper, it's so easy to work with. And I'm probably going to just come in here and like trim this off a little bit. Whoops. And, oops, I'm getting it on my page below. Let me put, let me add, put that right there for a second, and add a piece of, still need that, but I'll add a paper towel there. Whoops. Now I'm really making a mess everywhere. What I'm going to do is leave this out anyway, laying out tonight, so all this extra glue will dry off that I've made a mess on. But like I said, just play around with stuff and see, you know, what works for you. And if you don't like the tissue paper look, play around with it. And then if you don't like it, don't use it. And then there's just so many other things you can do. Okay. So then I'm going to kind of come in here and and a lot of times what I'll do is when I'm not using this glue is I use stick glue. But since I'm kind of doing different kind of layers, I'm going to go ahead and just use this. And what's nice about this glue too is it will it dries clear. And I just use, for the paint on these, I just use inexpensive craft paint for the to add different kind of cards, you know, paint on here. It's nothing expensive. Okay, so see the next one. Let's see here. Do we have, I think I kind of changed this around a bit, but I'm just gonna start kind of layering these up. It's super fun. It's not anything that like I said, it's for you and what you like. So I just want to, I'm just kind of placing this here and there. Might actually put a heart over here. It kind of looks like the coloring's too much the same, but I kind of like it. I think we'll go with that. And then I may add some, before I put these two down, I may add some material down there. I got my hot glue gun going over there. So what I'm going to do is come in and use my glue stick. A lot of times what I'll do too is let this dry. But since we're doing it on actually I think this may be a sticker. But we're going to use it as a die cut. Is, you know, to let the background dry a little bit and then use this. But I think that'll be fine. Just putting this glue on there. And I don't worry about getting every little, like the little antennas on this butterfly. I don't worry about getting that because what you want to do is just really get it to stick on there. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do next, I got this, I ordered this offline, off Etsy. And I might just, I love that pink with roses. It's so pretty. What's fun about this is I was actually looking for some rose. I had these really pretty, like it almost looks like this, but it had really dainty little pink roses on it. But I just kind of squirt that on there. But I don't know what I did with it. So I'm just going to kind of squish this up just like that. And you know what you could do too is come in here and like sew it where it makes it this, you know, more squished up like that. But I think hot glue gun works just fine. And then I'm actually going to use my hot glue gun on this paper. I have, that's my oldie but goodie little hot glue gun. I've had this since my 20s. And you can tell it looks a little rough around the edges and it leaks when you lay it down, but it works for me. You know what else you could do, and I know I bought some recently actually at a craft show, is I'm going to add a couple of these little flowers here. Now one thing you might want to keep in mind, and I'm thinking about this as I'm doing this, when I come back over here to write, if you have like that little bitty tiny bead right there, which I'm going to remove it, it will make it hard to write. It'll create a bump. So a lot of times if I'm going to add this kind of stuff to my journals, I'll do it after I do all my writing, because it becomes an issue when you're trying to write. And I'll probably come in here and just add a little dot of sparkle. I'm just going to play around with this a minute and see. Should do two. Just rip that flower. Doesn't mean it's trash, it means I'll use it in another project. I want to take that little bead off as well. And then just put a little, dab a little glue here. Okay, so let's come in and I'm going to trim this off. If you want to keep it, you can keep some of the edges on there. So I'm just gonna, I kind of like it with it torn look. There. And there you have it. See how easy that was? It's just adding layers, doing what you like. I'll probably put a date in there or something, but oh, let me add my girl over here. And I'm just going to use my glue stick. I have this, I love this sticker machine, the Xyron, but I'm out of like sticker stuff. So, and like in that cases, I would run her through, and then that way she would have sticky on here, and I wouldn't have to do the glue thing. And there you have it. And so I'll just come in here and journal here, and I've got this fun little page here that is all layered up, and you know, I'll come in here and I can add some more sparkle to the center of that. I could outline, let's see here, where are my, I want to do green, but if I had some gold, if I had my gold markers in here, I've been using them so I don't. But what's this? Here's a yellow. You can always come in here and fill in with markers. Wherever, you know, you want to add more color, you can add, like I said, more sparkle if you want to. I'm just going to go around this. Okay. Alrighty. So there's one process of layering it up and using paints and getting creative and having a fun page in your journal. So there's one idea of layering, and then the other idea I want to show you really quick here is, where did I do with those little, and this is where you kind of go, where did I do those? Okay, here we go. And actually I started a pile of little things over here that I want to use in this planner, and so I'm just going to kind of put them over to the side because like I said, I'll be this is one of my projects I've been wanting. This is on my radar right now to work on. So, like I love this big butterfly. I've had it for years. I want to use it. And so, let's do the first page. These colors are not really, they're really muted to me. They look like office colors, like a, you know, like an office, clerical type office, and so I really want to add more brightness and color to them. But I'm also going to use these journal cards because if you haven't guessed, this is kind of an Alice in Wonderland theme that I'm going for, and so I have 5 of these inserts, and so these cards, I have 5 characters in them that I will use for each of the covers. But the first one, I'm going to be using Alice. So I think what I'm going to do is create a background, and then we're going to layer it up. And I was kind of messing with this too. I have these Bow Bunny, I love Bow Bunny die cuts. And so I have those that I'm going to create with as well. And I'm going to put, like I love this. I think this would look so pretty because they are going to be dividers, and so I'm going to still use like this one. I think this will be pretty with Alice, this blue one. So I'm going to use some of these along with those little individual die cuts and ephemera pieces. So I for some reason I keep pulling this out, so I must love this yellow polka dot with the blue up there like that. So we're going to layer her up. Now I kind of went back and forth over what I wanted to do, and I think I'm going to actually just I'm just not a fan of this muted color. So I think either I'm going to cut this out to be the official background, which I think that's just what I'm going to do. That's the feeling I'm getting, and so let's just go ahead and do that. I am not a finicky person about, I mean, I do want a straight line, but I'm okay with cutting it with the scissors and going from there, because I'm gonna have so many layers and things sticking off of this. It's not gonna really matter if it's not exactly perfectly shaped. Get my hole punch out. And the cool thing about that is this way I have a template if I'm not going to be using the actual, you know, piece. I made my own, so put it on the right side. Okay, so here we go. I think what I'm going to try to do is I thought about making like kind of like a wreath around her. So I'm going to see about, let's see what Bo Bunny has in their little, see I thought about like, see they have these little leaves. I'm going to probably cut her out. You can see I have all this space and I always work myself off of the page here. Here's this, so we got to keep this in mind for the title up there, because I do kind of like having those up there at the tab. So I'm gonna continue to keep that. But I think I'm gonna do, I don't know, these leaves. The thing with the Bo Bunny, I love them, but they are more of like a scrapbooking paper, so they have a tendency to be larger than these smaller areas. So I like that. I think that looks good. So I think what I'm going to do is add a little bit of paint to these, just to kind of brighten them up a little bit. And you'll see kind of just, I don't do anything fancy with it, and I'm sure you can kind of tell that. But I like to have paint on things. So I'll just kind of come in here and follow the lines. And sometimes, you know, you can even cut, if you don't have leaves, you can cut the shape of your leaf out, and then you can paint them and get the same look to it. So I'm just going to do that. Oops, and a little bit more on this side. And then I like this pink eraser color. It's kind of a muted pink. And I'm really kind of like a brighter one, but I do like this one as well. And I'm just kind of adding a little bit more color. And I'll probably come in here and do like a lighter, come back and do like a lighter one on top. And what's good about this paint here is it dries fairly quickly. I'm going to go ahead and paint this blue one too, just because I may be using it. Okay, that way I have that one already done. Okay, so we're going to put those aside. Put that on there. And let's cut Alice out. I'm going to cut her out of here, and that way the whole card doesn't take up the space. And that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do with the other ones as well. Okay. Oops. I'm just going to look in here and see what else we have that we can use with this pretty little Alice theme. Oops. Okay, so let's add some layers in the back. We need some contrast. over here, even though I'm kind of wanting to do a wreath, but it looks pretty good. Looks kind of like a picture frame. And then let's see here, if we add these little guys. You know, another idea is, I just thought about this, is get your die cuts on the page and then paint. The only thing I don't like about this color that I've chosen is it looks very, what's the word I'm looking for? Tropical, and I don't know if it's because I painted those leaves that way, but that's the feeling I got. Is that the feeling you guys got? So let me think about something else. I want to keep this more of, see, even though I painted these, I can put those aside and use them another time. But I have these Tim Holtz ones. So let's kind of, I'm looking for more of a forest type. Wonderland, you know, Alice. It's more of a in the garden, not necessarily, these may be too real to really look, because we still want the whimsiness of Alice. You know. So, let me see what we got going on. And maybe we just don't paint these, or maybe it's that color pink. Something about that just looks too tropical to me. I want more of a not so bright. I know. What? Not so bright. We love color. Excuse me. Or maybe we go with more of a... It's good you guys are working with me on this, so, because see, you can see that I get indecisive as well. I did not have any of this planned out, as you can probably tell. Kind of like that. I just was kind of going with it, had an idea of what I wanted to do, and then just kind of... Where's that pink one at? I may need to do the pink. Or this one. That may work. So yeah, I'm just kind of... Let's see here. Let's see if I put this one under here. I love these little felt. I got this from the Happy Marigold kit. A while back, and I've been kind of like having it over here because I wanted to play with it and find the right spot for it. That pink, again, this pink is, whoops, it's not working. I kind of like the whimsy look of using more of that Tim Holtz floral look to it, and then adding something just like, oh, well, that doesn't really go, but I like the way that works together, maybe. Or maybe do that. I think that would work, right? Okay. So let me try a real rosy one too. Actually, I think those picked out look perfect. What do you guys think? Agreed? Agreed. And like I said, if this isn't what your style is, you may look at that and be like, oh my lord, no, that does not look good at all. But this is where the fun part is. It's kind of like, what do you like? What works for you? And so, I was hoping I could find those little you know, those little thingies. I just bought some and I just found them and I was like, oh, I'm going to put that in my workspace. But they're the little dots that make things stick off your page. Anyway, that's okay. If I can't find them, they will pop up. That's my new, I started that a couple years ago, that if I cannot find something, I just keep, I don't sit there and dig and dig and dig, because it wastes my time. They will eventually come up. Okay, so that's a layered look. That's what I'm going for. Let me see if I can find. Does this have any in there? I think this is out. Ooh, let's see. I'm gonna test it out on here. Nope, I still got some in there. Okay, so we're going to use this as, I got this on sale and you can see kind of why. But it works really good. They were getting rid of a lot of the types of glue at Hobby Lobby, and they actually got rid of my favorite kind. Probably need to look on Amazon to see if they still carry it. So I'm going to put Alice here. On this one I'm going to use the glue stick, and I'm going to just add glue to the back of these. I use the heavy duty, the extreme, because that's what works the best for me. I've used it for years and it really does stick. How did I have that? Did I have it like that? Or was it out like this? Okay. So how are you guys doing with the whole coronavirus thing? We've been literally inside. We actually all sat down with like a family and played a game, which was, we haven't done that in forever. So that was really kind of fun. And we've been eating, we haven't been eating out as much, which is really, really good for not only the pocketbook, but just trying to eat better. So that's always good, because being a commuter and working and all that stuff, I'm tired and I usually don't want to cook. But, whoops. Did it run out? It'd be good if it ran out, because I'm not a big fan of this, as you can tell. I think it did. So we're just going to run a glue stick down the middle of it. You know, the thing with these covers, of course I couldn't really cover mine but if you wanted to do, you could always laminate, but I'm not a big, I like laminating, don't get me wrong, but I think when I start adding it to these little planners and things like that, it creates, what do you call it, too much bulk, and so that's why I don't usually laminate. I used to laminate a lot of my dividers, but I don't do that anymore. Of course, now I don't really use a ring binder, except for like projects like this, like inspiration. Believe me, I just changed. I was a ring girl last year. More likely I probably will go back, but right now I'm using a passion planner for my day-to-day. Okay. Was hoping I had my stapler up here somewhere. I bet it's on the table. I have a table set up in our living room. That's my other craft table. So I can spend time with the family and should move this over a little bit. Too late. Whoops, no, it's not too late. And that glue gets messy. Okay, I'm just going to come in here and chop this off here. And again, what's going to be going into this binder is really, what do you call it? Ideas. And so I want to have like some things to look at, but I'm also going to be using it for a lot of just to have kind of ideas, you know. But I want to have it looked at and be inspired when I look at it as well. And this is just me looking around, looking on my desk, seeing what else I can add to kind of make it flow a little better. Sometimes I feel like the more layers you have, the better it looks. And again, that's me. Not everybody is into too much, you know, too much stuff can be like overwhelming for a lot of people. I know my friend and I, she journals too, but she is the complete opposite of me. She'll have very, very basic, cute stuff, don't get me wrong, but very not cluttery like mine at all. And that is perfectly fine. For us. You may ask, does the glue stick? Because I know that, you know how sometimes hot glue likes to like peel off. I haven't had any problems with this, but this is that high temp, burn your fingers glue. I don't use the low temp because I feel like it just doesn't do anything. My glue stick. Whoops. And I'm just layering up. This is what we're doing. I'm just showing a process that I like. I've got another little teeny tiny little mushroom. That would work perfectly right next to it. Okay, so I think that's going to be it. And then, you know what, I can always add things as I come across more. Because again, this is going to be going in the planner. Let me get the planner out. We'll put it in the small one for now. I got that larger one because I think in the end, that's the one I'm going to end up using. Because this one, it's cute and everything, but it's... the rings, I don't think it'll hold everything that I planned on. Ow. Ouch. Ow, that hurt. Got my finger stuck in there. Okay. Let's see. Is that enough room? Yeah, I love this at the top. I may need to add something on the back there. But we can do that at another time. So, I think what I'm going to conclude with, but I'm going to have to let it dry overnight, you guys, is I'm going to, you see, I have a mess over here, which, you know, as creative people, we know that it is painful to be neat. That's just part of it. But I think I'm going to add some sparkle, some glitter, and let it sit overnight. And we will have a little bit of sparkle in our lives, which is always good. You know what I could do, since I'm doing the green, and then I don't have to let it dry overnight, is, where's my sparkle pen? And then you can see how well these work. Let's get our little paper towel here. And I think I'm going to stamp my little quote here. I think I'm going to stamp what I'm going to do. So, what do you guys think? Works? Alright, well thank you guys for watching. This is just how I layer. I just kind of what looks right, what feels good, that kind of stuff. So give it a try. Get you some papers, get you some tissue paper. I didn't add tissue paper to this, but just give it a whirl. Give it a try to just add some more stuff. If you don't like as much, it's okay. There we go. Oops. Cute little Alice. She's ready to go with all her layers. First little page. Alright, thanks you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.